What is up, friends? Geoff Fienberg back here with you talking more golf, PGA Tour action this weekend. I'll be perfectly honest, I don't think I've been this excited to break down a tournament since probably the second leg of the FedEx Cup. Once you get to the Tour Championship, it's 30 guys. They got the starting strokes. I was excited about the President's Cup, but that is its own thing. And there's certainly been no event in the whatever they call the start of the 2023 season that's excited me like this. But a limited field, the stars are out, the CJ Cup. We are not in South Korea. I believe this is going to be the third straight year we are unable to play this event in South Korea, which is a shame. The guys were in Japan last week. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert in any of the reasons why they were able to play in Japan and not South Korea. Confusing to me. Didn't really look into it a hell of a lot, though. Full disclosure on that. And then for the guys that are making the trip, that's a long flight. Tokyo to South Carolina. We are here at Congaree, friends. Remember this one during the pandemic. I believe this was the event that replaced the Canadian Open. That couldn't take place. That's sad for folks here in Canada. But again, we've come back like a storm with a couple beauties since the resumed to play. I know. Forget all of that. Congaree Golf Club, Garrick Higo won at 11 under par. This Tom Fazio design, I know I said it last week, and I say it very few times, despite saying it again this week. Because once we get in the grind of it, all these courses, so many of them are the goddamn same. They really are. But this place is really unlike any other we go to. 7,600 yards, can flirt with 7,700 yards, a par 71. My recollection from that Higo win at 11 under was, this is a golf course that asks for your total golf bag, and you love that. Driver, irons, around the green will certainly be important. We saw so few players gain multiple strokes last time we were here as well. It really was a test. That 11 under mark, though, hard to know what to make of it because this field is fantastic. This field was fantastic. That other field was not. So, you know, as a player, if the good players play well and good players usually win and they're the only players winning these days, I don't know if that 11 under means much of anything. But here we are, CJ Cup, no cut. The big boys are here. And did I say I'm excited for this event? Maybe you can tell. You're probably like, get into this sucker, Fienberg, already. Why do I love this event? Well, if you know how I like to bet on golf tournaments, it's that like 25 to 50 to 1 range where I love to build a golf cart. And we got some great players at some great numbers this week. I don't know that I'll be able to resist, but at the very top, Rory, Rahm, and Thomas, they're here. Scheffler is here. Rory, the favorite, 8-1. Rahm, comes in behind at 10-1, all available in the odds checker grid. Justin Thomas, 16-1. I'm going blind, guys. Full day watching like 9 screens of football. Sorry, my eyes are losing it. I should be wearing glasses. 16-1 at DraftKings. That actually sounds like a very fair and maybe advantageous opportunity. Rory and Rahm also scare the shit out of me. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Or I don't know. We're cool here at Odds Checker. That's an okay. That's not like on the ban list. Not that I've ever been sent one. Yeah, Thomas, 16-1. This course demands your total package game. You know, fantastic driver, fantastic iron player, wizard getting up and down. It's hard to differentiate from these three of these guys at the moment. Rahm with that big win at home felt magical in some respects. Thomas looked great at the President's Cup. Rory's always charging. I would take Thomas here if I had to make a move. We move a little farther back. And for me, the guy that has my attention would be Matthew Fitzpatrick. There's a 25-1 over at Bet365. We could probably get that bigger on the enhanced. I haven't made a move on Fitzpatrick. I've actually bet 2 players thus far, pretty much in this range. Fitzpatrick not being one of them just yet. But last time we were here, Fitzpatrick, again, was one of very few players who gained multiple strokes. Fitzpatrick, Hatton, English, Seamus Powers were the only players in the field who gained 2+ strokes on this golf course. So, of the really good players, he seemed to handle and he loves hard golf courses. So I'm swimming around Fitzpatrick, haven't made a move yet. Guy I have made a move on, couldn't resist. Sam Burns, 28-1. You can get that in enhanced win only 30 over at Bet365. Burns, there's probably no player outside of those big three that I mentioned off the very top that I trust more at this moment than Sam Burns. He'll win. He'll show up at your member at your country club and want to win versus you and your pals who shoot 98. I mean, that's just how he rolls. Swing season, things get a little murky. It's a course that demands everything. Yeah, we're where we want to be for Sammy Burns here. Awkward green complexes, he'll handle it just fine. Cam Young, I got in this thing out of the gate this morning, 35-1 over at DraftKings. There's still 30s available over at Bet365. Listen, this was the number we were betting Cam Young at to win majors if you wanted it by the time they went off at the end of the year. I take that back on the majors, but for sure in the FedEx Cup. This is a golf course that demands your whole bag. Cam Young certainly has it. There's no laissez-faire attitude for a guy that hasn't won. I don't know how much I'm going to be on Cam Young as the numbers get depleted, but this seems like such a fair spot. A swing season spot that's pretty much a better number than you were getting all the stretch run of last year. Cam Young now has the confidence of being on the President's Cup, playing very good at the President's Cup. You can say that, well, why does that matter? It is almost like being selected to an all-pro team. Him getting to share the locker room with Spieth and Thomas and all Xander and Cantley. It's like, whoa, I belong. Like, there's just a self-confidence, in my opinion, that comes from all of that. Listen, it's not all about modeling and numbers. Sometimes you got to play your gut. My gut tells me this is an optimal opportunity for Cam Young at a more than fair number. And the other part about it is he went to school at Wake Forest, very familiar with the Carolinas. Oh my God. Yeah. Garrick Higo won here. I mean, that's a reference point that means nothing to this argument. Give me Cam Young 35-1. I always got to reference it. Haven't made the bet, but DraftKings is 28 on Hovland. Other shops are showing 20. I hate the fact that you're going to need to be very solid around the green this week, in my opinion, to lift this trophy. But I always do probably silly believe in the ceiling of Viktor Hovland. And at a 7,600 yard par 71, the ceiling shows up. This could be the Victor by a field goal. Victor will not win this week by one. He would win this week by a field goal or more. Maybe that would have to be a prop I make. You guys know my mind is always on Victor. But again, this betting range, Morikawa, Homa, Spieth, very good opportunities. I've already mentioned Hatton as one of the players who gained more than 2 strokes here total. Last time we were here, that's a very finite list. So there's a comfort level here. And despite playing horribly in most majors, I like the grittiness of Hatton. And to piggyback off some of my Fitz comments, I've seen some people say there are some links elements to this Fazio design. Some runoff areas around these greens that lead right into hazards or bunkers. Oh, this is going to be a fun one to watch. So Hatton, certainly, there's that 40-1 over at FanDuel. I am staring at it. It is as low as 33 at some other shops coming in on Hatton. And again, I mean, good players win the golf tournaments. We could go farther down this board. I do think Aaron Wise in the 60s presents some nice potential opportunities if you want to take on the bigger players at the top. I mean, we didn't bet him, but Emiliano Grillo, is there a week since the John Deere this guy hasn't played great, where the stats just don't say how on earth can this guy not win? Hasn't won. I don't know. Listen, I'm like a never Keegan guy, and that got me last week because I just don't trust Keegan. And he had that, it's been a while. He had that big FedEx Cup win at the BMW a few years ago. So it's great to see him get that. It was great to see Ricky contend. And what a mensch that Ricky Fowler is. What a mensch. A tough loss, a heartbreaking loss, but such an important week for him. And then to see he spends signs for every kid on the grounds waiting for probably over an hour after a tough L. But obviously what we hope is a great confidence builder for Ricky. I just love to see it. I know that's boring for you. You just want to get back to some thoughts. I don't know. It's not a Tommy Fleetwood course, so we don't have to talk about him. We will just use the odds checker grid to point out that there's an 80-1 on Tommy and a 50-1 on Tommy over at FanDuel. That 80 is at DraftKings. So if you're going to bet a guy who seems to never win, may as well get your 80-1. I know a lot of people, if you're into the long shots, you should probably just sprinkle on the Carolina golfers, guys that play well here, guys from this part. Sepp Straka, Harris English, maybe he can come around. That would sort of be my thinking. Sepp's a guy, you guys all know that we were on him in that playoff loss a couple weeks ago. We did not really want to be part of it in Japan, but this could be a perfect opportunity to get back on Sepp Straka while he is trending in this direction, competing with really good fields and the best players. And let's just highlight 100-1s out there on Sepp, also coming in as low as 60-1. So, that's why we use that odds checker grid. We want to make a move, whether it be an 8-1 or 100-1. Let's get back as much as possible. Winning an outright winner is hard enough. Although if they stick in that 25 to 50 range, we're going to have no problem racking them in. No problem. Seamus Power, another one of those players who was very, at least statistically speaking, had a very good week at Congaree last time we were here. That just about wraps it up for me, friends. The guys on the card, Cam Young, Sam Burns, 28, 35-1 for me, respectively. I would still get in on those Cam Young 30s. And I don't know. Good players are going to win. So if I bet Justin Thomas, it's probably Justin Thomas and that's it. I'm thinking maybe I add a Fitzpatrick and a Hatton to this card as well. Those are things you'll just have to see me put out on Twitter. The current card that I do have is in the comments, or is in the description, I believe, or the first comment of this video. We are here, odds checker, bang. I think I spoke long enough. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, fired up. This field is great. In some ways, this, I don't know. Is there no more WGC? Can we call this the fall major? Can we call this the swing season major? I don't want to get away with, I don't want to put something really stupid on tape. So let me just look at the schedule quickly. I already put it on tape. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to look. Let's get out of here. Let's see if we can bag one. It's the fall major this week. The CJ Cup. No cut. Under 80 guys. Elite field. Let's bag one. Cam Young, Sam Burns. Do us right, baby. I'm out.